My name is Father Jeff Ernst. I'm a Capuchin Franciscan, and I am pastor at St. John the Evangelist Church in Lawrence, Kansas, which is where we're at right now in my office here. And we have here some questions from people off of the social media, questions pertaining to pretty much anything about the church or the order or Saint Francis. So what I'll do is just go down the list here and just try to answer those for you. So our first question is from Arthur Cedillo, and his question is it true that Saint Francis of Assisi started off as a troubadour and party animal? What caused him to change his way and become a saint who loved all living animals? And it's evident that Francis was a very popular man in his young days, and he did have employment. He worked for his father in the cloth industry, textiles, and but did enjoy life, and so did party a lot, hosted and paid for many of the parties he had, and had his own horse and became a knight and did all those things, lived a kind of a romantic life, but then had an experience of God touching him, and just was awakened spiritually to God's presence around him and in his heart. And so began to not enjoy the life he had been living anymore because of his new found spiritual life and journey. And so he began to pursue that, and more kind of withdrew from the life he knew, and began to wander and visit old churches and rebuild old churches, and just kind of all the while praying in that time and asking God what the Lord wants him to do for him. And then would go into a church and ask the priest to open the scriptures for him and see what was said. And so he heard the gospel from St. Matthew, "Go sell all you have and give to the poor, come and follow me." And so that's what he did. And so much to his father's chagrin, he sold some of his father's cloth and took that money and either bought stones with it to rebuild churches or purchased food for it for the poor and for lepers. He also did visit lepers. That's one thing that he would avoid with all of his being. He would never go near them. He couldn't stand to be downwind from them. But after the Lord touched his heart, he went up to them and he embraced them and bathed their sores and fed them and helped them to feel comforted. So it was God's grace that changed him, but he was open to God's grace as well. And then just wanted everyone to experience God's love. And so he tried to see God in everything and everyone, and was able to do that, and did befriend some animals, and so he was a brother to all creation, not just to people, but to all creation. Good question.